Mark reviews movies, and it's been a long time since I've filmed one of these in my basement, which really is my favorite place to watch movies, other than maybe the real theater. So I promised you a few videos ago when we were at the park at Ivory Ridge in Lehigh that I would provide you with a review of Beauty and the Beast. I didn't film it that night because it ended close to midnight. We were exhausted and just trying to get out of there. So here it is. Here's my review of Beauty and the Beast. Now, this is obviously not the classic Beauty and the Beast. This is a live-action remake. Disney's on this kick right now, and I don't get it. The Jungle Book was pretty good. Cinderella was meh. This one just fell so short of my expectations. I mean, I love Emma Watson. I felt like she did a great job. Not the strongest singer, and it's hard to cast someone in a musical if they're not a strong singer. So there were parts I could tell were kind of digitally manipulated to make her sound like a better singer. I think she has a good casting decision for Belle, but didn't really win me over with the singing. Okay. Aside from that, I have a hard time with you calling something live action if most of it is CGI. Like, that's not truly live action for me, so why not just stick with the original animated movie? And here's my biggest gripe. If you can tell, I didn't really like this movie very much. Here's my biggest gripe. If you're going to do a remake of a classic, an undisputed classic, everyone agrees the animated version of Beauty and the Beast from the early 90s is a classic, okay? So if you're going to do a remake of that film, you really only have one choice. That choice is not what they did here. So let me explain. Your choice is take that storyline and the music, etc., as a basic premise and make something original. Expand on that. Explore a side storyline that interacts with it. Maybe, what's Gaston's story? What is his perspective through all of this? Something like that that's related but different. I'll give you an example, okay? Ever After is a remake of Cinderella, which I'm so tired of remakes of Cinderella, okay? But Ever After does a better job. You see a different element to it, a different storyline. She interacts with different people, so it stands alone as a pretty good movie, and you don't have to love the Cinderella storyline to appreciate it. Beauty and the Beast here, instead of striking out and doing something brave, Disney stuck with what they had done before. Just because something was successful 20 years ago does not mean that it's going to be successful now. 25 years ago, okay? Beauty and the Beast falls short. And I didn't want it to. I wanted it to be good, but it wasn't. It just ended up being weird. Almost like some of the sets were designed by like a steampunk enthusiast. I mean, parts of it were just bizarre. So it lost the magic that made it so special, right? It wasn't cute. They stuck too close to the reality of what these things would be rather than allowing it to just be truly magical. Okay, so that aside, that's my single biggest complaint. Do something different. Strike out on your own, because if it's too similar, all I'm doing the entire time is comparing it to the original. And when it falls short, it's painful. This movie felt very flat. The entire time, the climaxes that should have been exciting and interesting felt flat because none of it was something new. Okay? Now, another thing that I picked up on that my wife didn't really, that I was kind of upset by, this has been watered down. Maybe it's for a modern audience, but the clear distinctions between good and evil, right and wrong were whitewashed. It was glossed over. Here's an example from the climax of the film. At the end, spoiler alert, Gaston decides that he wants to kill the beast, right? They even sing a song, "Kill the Beast," okay? When he's at the castle, in the classic animated version, what happens? Gaston tries to club the beast fights back, he ends up getting Gaston, he holds him over a cliff by the neck, and Gaston begs for his life. He's like, "Oh, please, please, let me go," right? The beast completes his transformation, his redemption, by forgiving him. By pardoning someone who wanted to kill him, right? So he lets Gaston go, and then literally, Gaston stabs him in the back, right, with a dagger. And as the beast kind of reacts to that, Gaston falls off the cliff. He's like, ah, and falls off the cliff to his death. So as a direct result of Gaston's actions, he meets his demise. Right? After he had been pardoned and forgiven, he still turned against the beast, and there was an immediate consequence for that. He died. In this movie, Gaston is at a distance, standing on a bridge, and shoots the beast from a distance, again, separating that consequence, right? Shoots the beast from a distance, and he falls as the castle continues to crumble because the spell hasn't been broken yet. So is it directly a result of what Gaston did, or is it just a continuation of something that they'd already established where the castle's falling apart? Exactly. So one of the gripes I have here is that Disney has taken what could be a pretty powerful moral lesson and they've glossed over it. So I don't think that it's motivated as much by, oh, kids today can't handle these things, as more of a, yeah, we don't really need it to be that in your face, maybe. So they've removed the powerful messages that can exist, and that's just one example, but the powerful messages that can exist, and they've whitewashed over it, they've glossed over it. So what you're left with is maybe best represented by Emma Watson singing. It's kind of hollow and unsustained. It's not substantial. It leaves you wanting more. If you can tell, maybe if you can't tell, I didn't really like this movie very much. But that's my opinion. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. I want to know your honest feedback. The one thing that I feel like Disney's live action remakes have going for them, other than just raking in as much money as they can, is this. If there is an audience out there that hasn't seen the classics, right, so the children of today, and would maybe be bored by hand-drawn animation, it's a good story. Lovable characters. The classics are so much better. Parents, if you're watching this, your children deserve to be introduced to the originals. So go find them and skip this. Okay, that's it. Kind of harsh. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me or disagree. And over here, subscribe to this channel for more movie reviews and, in my opinion, and reviews on lots of other things. And then over here, let's cover up the rest of Beauty and the Beast for the remainder of this video with other videos that I've filmed on this channel, which I hope you'll find more entertaining than this. All right. Thanks. Subscribe.